Hello, everybody, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast, where we empower, inspire, and uplift women to be the goddesses they were meant to be. I am your co-host, Julietta, also known as the Magical PT. I am here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I have a private physical therapy practice, and it's a very holistic, non-traditional PT practice. I laugh sometimes. My clients are like, "Do you think I should go see a PT?" And I'm like, "Where do you think you are?" But sometimes I do send them also to, because I don't do insurance or anything. That I'm all self-pay, and definitely do not work like a regular PT. So if someone needs some more traditional PT, I often tell them, go get regular PT and just come to me for the magical stuff, because that's all I'm interested in doing is magic.
There you go.
And and I'm also a mala and jewelry designer and a painter. I never say this, but after, our previous guest was an author, and I'm like, I forget to tell everybody anymore. I am an international best-selling co-author of.
You are.
I am.
You need to remember that.
Yeah, I do need to remember that. And anyway, that's enough about me. Tell our audience about you, Allison.
So I am excited to be here today. My name is Allison Mancini, and I am a human resources director for a company called The Goal Digger Girl, not goal, like achieve a goal, Goal Digger Girl. And I'm also a functional nutritionist, and I'm just really super passionate about helping women be the best that they can be from the inside out. I also am a mom to 2 amazing adult children. I am a wife to a wonderful husband for 28 years. And I also live in South Florida, but originally from Michigan. And I'm a co-host of this podcast. And yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up right now.
Awesome. Well, we have an amazing sponsor for this month.
We do. And I'm excited to announce her. Yep. So our sponsor for the month of April is Alicia Botang Designs. She is a celebrity cup designer, and Alicia is a mother of 4, wife, and passionate coffee lover. Alicia is a former wedding planner and has always been an exceptional creative individual. No doubt when you see her mugs, you will agree. She turned an ordinary coffee cup into an extraordinary, dazzling, and empowering vessel that speaks volumes to women of all colors all over the world. She's been seen on The Today Show with Hoda and Jenna, Reader's Digest, Forbes, Food Network, ABC, Fox, MSN, Your California Life, Gift Shop Magazine, Sheen Magazine, and Lifestyle Magazine. And we are so honored because she made a mug just for Voices of the Goddess, our own mug here that Julietta is holding up. It's beautiful. And we are excited to have her. If you want to go check out her mugs, they are gorgeous. You truly will like it. Just makes your coffee and tea taste even better.
It just feels like a luxurious experience when you're drinking out of one of her bedazzled mugs. Jess is like, I can't wait to get mine. We're holding it. We got it for you. So, and like, I mean, like Whoopi has one of her mugs.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of other celebrities that have her mugs. So
Yep.
how cool is that? So, and Voices of the Goddess mugs are available. So if you want to get one, let us know. We can hook you up. So anyway, like, okay, we all know I'm a physical therapist, and my clients come into my office, and this week my patients are driving me crazy. And it's because they're talking crap to their bodies. I'm like, your body.
I thought you were going to say they're talking crap to me.
No, to their bodies. I'm like, your body can hear that.
Yeah.
And I get it. Our bodies, they get older. They do that. It's either you're getting older or you're dead. So hopefully you're getting older. And no matter how good you take care of your body, when you use it, like, you wear things out. And it's just a part of living. But if you keep, scolding your body, being angry at your body, being annoyed with your body. It doesn't support it in the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
So all week I've been telling people, don't talk to your body that way. You wouldn't talk to your friend that way, you know, and your body's your friend. Like, be nice to your body. Talk nice to your body. And anyway, that's what I got to say.
I mean, I agree with you. It's so, I think it ties in so well with like that whole idea of mindset. Like I read an article recently where they say that like, I think it's like 85% of our thoughts that go through our head are negative about ourselves or our situation. It's like ridiculous.
Wow.
And that's just how we are. And it actually became about, like, I'd have to go in and find the article, but it actually came about because it's actually a defense mechanism as we were, thousands of years ago. And unfortunately we've carried it through. And I mean, if you really pay attention, you'll catch yourself. I do it all the time. Julietta, you've caught me on stuff. You're like, wait, did you just say that? No. Like, and that goes back to our bodies. Like, how many times do you stand in front of a mirror and you pick apart every single inch of your body? Like, stop doing that. Your body is a vessel that is carrying you through the day. Treat it with love and kindness and talk to it with love and kindness. It is a big, big deal. It really is. And there's becoming a lot more research around it, which I love. And okay, are you noticing my background keeps moving?
I'm sure the puppies are doing that.
The puppies. That's what I was just going to say. Just so everybody knows, if you're watching this live, I have puppies in the background. Jess, you ready for these puppies? She's dog sitting soon. She's going to be like, oh my God.
But what I will say, it would have been much more fun to just let everybody believe that there were spirits moving
we're going to go with that from now on. So yeah, talk to your body nicely, like reframe it, rephrase it. I'm with you. I think it's really important. We don't realize how much that really does damage big time.
Got to be present and aware and watch your thoughts.
And that rubs off on other people around us, like your kids, if you're raising kids, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Big time.
Awesome.
All right, let's do it. Like Jess said, I'm ready for the puppy madness. Okay, you'll be saying the same thing after about a day. You're going to be like, what? Oh, hello, Claire. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you two?
Great. It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, welcome to the show. Please take a few minutes and introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Claire Lawson, known on social media as Yogi Bear. That's BAIRE Fit. And I'm a fitness entrepreneur out of South Florida. I grew up here in West Palm Beach. I'm a certified personal trainer through ISSA, which is the International Sports Science Association. Also got my yoga certification through them and my nutritionist certification through them. More than that, let's see, in 2016, I became a certified Pyro Pilates instructor, which is like my main class that I love to teach. It is a fusion of yoga, Pilates, and high intensity interval training done only with your body weight. And then I'm also a Bikram Yoga practitioner who is currently in the process of opening up my very own yoga fitness fusion studio here in West Palm. Besides all of that fitness stuff, I also train kids in soccer. I do youth development sports training. Soccer was my biggest, most favorite sport growing up. I currently play in 3 different leagues right now. For a little while, I was playing for a semi-pro team, but it was just taking a lot of time out of my regular life. So I no longer play with them. But I still stay active with my soccer, and let's see what else. That's pretty much it. Just all things fitness and health. Like that is what I'm into. I actually went to college for communications, and after college realize, like, while I love being creative in those aspects, graphic design, journalism, video and radio production, my true passion has and always is fitness. And once I started teaching group fitness classes, I was like, that's it. This is my calling. This is what I'm meant for.
Nice.
This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Nice.
So,
I love it.
here we are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Where did you go to college?
I went to a small liberal arts school up in northern Iowa called Waldorf University. I went on a soccer scholarship, and then I eventually joined the women's wrestling team for 2 years.
What? So. Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Definitely a culture shock because of the weather. And moving from a big city like West Palm to a little tiny town in the middle of a bunch of cornfields was wild. But I made some lifelong friends there that I'm still in touch with today, still support me in what I'm doing today. So it was a great experience.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Allison and I are both from the Midwest. I'm from Wisconsin. She's from Michigan. So
we
know weather. We know
what you're talking about. My son actually went to play ice hockey up in Connecticut at Post University. He did a year up there before he had to retire from injuries. But it was a culture shock for him because he went from Fort Lauderdale area up to this tiny podunk town. I don't even think they had a Target. Well, I think they did, but it wasn't close. And it was very small. And snow, like I remember the first time he FaceTimed us when they got their first snowstorm. He was like, "What?"
Yeah, we didn't even have a Walmart in the town. The closest Walmart was 45 minutes away. The first winter I was there, I had a 7:30 a.m. swim class that I had to walk to.
Oh,
and there was a week straight where it was negative 40 degrees with wind chill. I was like, I'm not prepared for this. Why did I decide to come to Iowa?
It's good though. It's a good experience. Good learning experience.
It was a good experience.
But I also love too
I will never again live in a place that gets that cold.
What I was going to say is I also love though how you you followed your passion. So many people, they get a degree and they're like, well, this is what I studied. This is what I have to do. They might not like it and they just keep pushing through. So congratulations to you for recognizing and giving yourself permission to do what you love.
Yeah, thank you. I've always been a very big believer in like just following where your heart leads you, but taking your brain with you, not just going out there. So, there are just certain things that happened throughout my life that just kept pushing me more and more towards finding a path through the fitness industry. And I just allowed those doors to continue to open and the rest of them to continue to shut. And now here I am.
That's so true. What did I hear someone say recently? That your heart will always be true to you, but your brain lies to you all the time, which is so true. Like your brain makes up stories that are so not true.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, really quickly before we go to our first question, where are you opening your studio at? Do you have a location yet?
I do. It is going to be in downtown West Palm Beach, about 3 miles south of like the main downtown Rosemary Square area. Nice. So right in the heart of West Palm Beach where I grew up. So I'm excited to be able to have a space in the community where I get to give back in all the ways that the studio is going to a community that gave me so much growing up and really helped me to become the person that I am.
Congratulations. So with that, we're going to dive into our questions. And the first one is, what one book do you wish every goddess would read and why?
Ooh. So I couldn't think of just one. So I have 2. The first one is The Alchemist, which is a book that I had been hearing about forever. And just recently got my hands on a copy of it and read it. And it, without giving too much away, it really ties into what I mentioned just a little bit ago about following the doors that open and leaving behind the doors that are closing. Just the story, and of course I'm drawing a blank on his name now, but the story that the young boy is based on, being able to just follow his journey through life and see where he came from and what he was doing, and how it was pretty much a profession that like his family did, so that's what he did, or wanted to do rather. And him just always having this feeling, and I think so many of us can relate to this, just having this feeling that we were meant to do so much more, that there's something bigger out there that we can do, and maybe not necessarily knowing how we're going to do it or what it looks like or anything like that. Just having this deeply ingrained knowingness that there's something more to life that we get to experience. And then through meeting people and just going with the flow of things, he ends up living out his wildest dreams. And so that book was really an inspiration to me, especially at this time of my life as I'm getting ready to follow my dreams and open this studio. Like, sometimes shit happens where you get placed in a situation where you kind of have to just go through the motions of things, and it can become mundane sometimes, but it's a process that needs to happen in order for you to be able to move on to that next level or that next step. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now in my journey with this studio. Like, of course, at first, everything's super exciting. And then you get into the reality of things, of a business plan and getting investors and just everything that goes along with opening a business that I had no idea about when I started this. But just seeing that, okay, I may be in a place right now where I've just kind of got to grind through it, do these things that maybe are not my most passionate things about this process, but knowing that by doing these things, it's going to lead me to another level. And every step that I'm taking in this journey is leading me towards like my biggest dream life that there is. So that's the first book, The Alchemist. Definitely read it. It's a short read too. It's not very long. And then the second book, it's called Pussy or Reclamation. I don't know if either of you have heard about this book. But
we're laughing because we know about the book. That's why we're laughing.
Yes. So my old roommate, Hannah Dillon, she actually mentioned this book to me. And at first I was like, I don't know about that. But then I was at like Barnes and Noble one day, and it was literally just on the shelf, like calling to me. And I was like, I guess it's time for me to read it. And growing up in a very like religious Christian household, and not intentionally by my parents or anything, but just the atmosphere of being in a very Christian household and environment, I was shamed a lot when I was younger for being too sexy or too sensual. Not that I was trying to be, like, it was just naturally like who I was showing up as. And so because of those moments and other experiences that I had in life, I just started to like pull my power back more and more and more, and just kind of like built a shell around myself. And reading this book just opened up my heart to, I'm actually getting a little emotional right now, but it just really just opened up my heart to realizing that like pleasure is good and okay. And when we are able to live in a state of pleasure, that's when some of our greatest moments in life can unfold. And it doesn't always necessarily mean in a sexual way at all. Just like, what brings me the most pleasure? Like, teaching people in group fitness classes brings me so much pleasure. And so I know that that's something that I need to follow and go after wholeheartedly. And then also on the sexual side of things, like, I get to have expectations, and I get to find out like what Claire wants, what I want, what are my desires, what I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with, and just learning how to explore myself in those areas has just really helped me, I feel like, blossom into the woman that I am today. So that is definitely my second book
That's
recommendation.
awesome. That's awesome. I love
Did
it.
she sell you, Allison?
She did better than you did.
Go get the book. It's great.
I don't know if you know, Claire, but we have in our Facebook group that goes along with this podcast, we do a book club and we pick a book every month. And since we've started this, I've been trying to convince Allison that we need to do the book Pussy.
This is your sign.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I worry about what our audience may think.
And you know what? Our audience gets to think whatever our audience
That's
wants
true.
to
You're
think.
absolutely right. And if they don't like it,
And it
then
has nothing to do with us and everything to do with them.
that's true.
So thank you,
And
Claire.
they're going to understand the book from the level of understanding that they're at right now. And some of them probably won't be ready for it, but others of them are going to be so thankful that that's the book of the month. Like it's going to change their life. So.
Yeah. Well, we did do The Alchemist already, so it apparently looks like we need to do Pussy now.
Yes.
So moving along to our next question, not because I'm trying to change the subject, but because seriously, we need to get moving on our questions because we're talking a lot. Our second question is, and this is, I'm interested to hear your answer. So what is your favorite self-care practice, the way that you take care of you?
Yes.
And how does it support you? Because you're already extremely active. Like when most people think self-care, they think exercise. You already do that. And that could be part of yours.
Yeah, that definitely, I would say is like my staple in self-care is being physically active every day in one way or another, or sometimes multiple times a day. But along with that, and what I've really learned in my fitness journey and everything is to listen to what my body needs. There was a time where I was just like pushing myself, going so hard in the gym, plus yoga class, plus biking 12 miles a day, like just doing so much. And I know now it's because I was like trying to run away from some emotional shit that I just wasn't dealing with. And that was like my outlet. But through that, like self-care looks to me like taking a day off sometimes. Sometimes I wake up and my body is just like, you know what? Not today. I know that we're supposed to go to the gym and we've got a leg day today and that's your favorite, but that's not happening today. Like we need to do something else. And so I'll do yoga instead, or I'll go for a walk instead, something like that. And I just want to be clear, there's a difference between waking up and just not feeling like doing a hard workout because I just don't feel like it, and knowing that my body needs rest today, and to push it to that extreme is not going to serve me best. So yeah, that's really supported me. I'm very much the type of personality that is just like go by whatever means necessary. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's the Sagittarius in me. So to learn to take those rest days and know that it's okay, that my 100% effort for today might look like doing a 30-minute yoga session instead of a 60-minute all-out workout with weights at the gym. Is something that really supports me and my personal self-care-ness.
I love that you say that, because I was having major guilt years ago because I was getting tired of doing yoga for an hour and a half. You know, I go to the yoga studio and a class would be an hour and a half. And I'm like, I don't have an hour and a half. I don't have that. Like, I want to get my workout in, but that's a lot for me, right? In the season of life I was in. Finally came to the realization that, great, if I only have 30 minutes, and I'll just do yoga for 30 minutes. And I just stopped going to the yoga studio because there wasn't that option. But now I just do yoga. If I have 30 minutes, I do yoga for 30 minutes. I have an hour, I do an hour. Like, I'm not so hard on myself about that stuff. And I appreciate that you bring that up, because I think that's a really valid point for people to understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Question number 3 is, we all have difficult days, and yet we still need to show up and get things done. So when you're having one of those days, how do you rise up and get through your day?
I love this question so much. And the first thing that came to my mind when I read this question was dedication over motivation. So I get asked this question a lot by potential clients and people who follow my fitness page. Like, how do you stay motivated? I don't stay motivated because motivation is based on how you're feeling. Like I said previously, if I wake up every morning and determine what I'm going to do for that day based on how I'm feeling when I wake up, 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to roll over and go back to sleep because I don't feel like getting up when my alarm clock goes off. I just want to hit snooze for another hour. However, when I have the mindset of I'm dedicated to my health, I'm dedicated to my well-being, I'm dedicated to feeling the best I've ever felt, I'm dedicated to looking the best I've ever looked, that is what keeps me going, especially on the days where I really just don't want to do anything. I lean into, okay, but what would business owner Claire do? What am I dedicated to? Who am I dedicated to becoming and being? And when I have that question and that thought process in my mind, it makes it easier to get up and do whatever it is that I need to do, even if that's doing emails, because that's something that I struggle with. I don't like sitting down in front of my computer and having to do emails and that kind of stuff. But I'm like, okay, well, business owner Claire, I'm dedicated to making this happen. And so this is something that I get to do. I get to sit down and dedicate 20 minutes of time to doing this. Key that has helped me is literally just like, okay, 20 minutes, set a timer for 20 minutes, get as much done as I can in those 20 minutes. And most of the time when that timer goes off at 20 minutes, I'm already on a roll of doing things and I'll just ignore the timer and I'll keep going and I'll finish whatever task it was that I originally had to set a timer for. So dedication over motivation.
It's a great distinction. Yes.
Sorry, I have a lot of puppy background noise going on right now. So sorry. They're playing. So you're just going to have to roll with it. So, Claire, what is a life experience that has really played a big role in forming who you are today? And you may have already touched on it. I'm not sure. So,
yeah, I have a couple actually. The easiest one would be just like growing up playing team sports. Almost every team that I was on growing up, I ended up becoming captain of that team, which really just taught me how to be disciplined and how to lead and guide people with encouragement rather than what's the word that I want? Rather than just like being like harsh, like you need to do this, you need to, but just like having that motivational and encouraging spirit about me, because people listen to you when you're motivating them and making them feel good. People do not want to listen to you when you're just barking orders and commands at them because it doesn't feel good. Like nobody likes to be talked to like that. So having coaches and stuff throughout the years who really just like taught me how to be a captain and how to lead others has led me again to this whole fitness industry. Like that's where it all started growing up. Another life event that's outside of the fitness realm, I would say when I was in college, my parents got divorced. And that was like a complete shock to me and to my family. Like I said, I grew up in a very religious Christian household where like divorce was like the D word, like you didn't talk about it. That wasn't an option. Like that didn't happen. And so when that happened to my family, it just made me question everything that I had been taught growing up. And it really allowed me to go deeper into what religion is. Do I really want to follow this? Is this really true to me? And it ended up not being. And so I went a different route. And I mean, people say religion and then spirituality. But it's true. Like I went more from a religious standpoint of these are the things you do, these are the things you don't do, to I'm going to experience this life for what it is, and I'm going to live through like what my intentions are with everything that I do, and knowing that my intentions come from a pure place. I know that no matter what happens, what experiences I go through, it's going to serve me in some way or another. It's going to teach me something in one way or another. And through those experiences, I'm going to grow without the fear of, oh my God, I went to the club and had a few drinks. I'm going to go to hell now because I'm not supposed to drink. Like, basically, it was a shift from a fear-based mindset of living to a love-based mindset of living. Like, that's the best way that I can describe it. And then the final experiences that really just rocked my world. I had several encounters with sexual assault and rape while I was in college. And those really affected me in a way where I really closed down as a woman and just felt like everything was my fault. I'm the one to blame. The typical, getting asked, well, what were you wearing? Like, that all happened to me, and like people didn't believe me. So those were very traumatic experiences that I went through. And reading that book, Pussy, A Reclamation, like helped me cope with those experiences and understand on a deeper level that it wasn't my fault. None of those things were my fault, and how I can, get my power back as a woman and as a person. And those experiences have really just taught me how to be a better woman and how to stand up for myself, how to say no, which is like the hardest thing. Like, growing up again in a Christian household where we're taught, that we're just supposed to nod our heads, be submissive, and just do what we're told. Well, the word no, especially for a woman, is such a powerful word to learn how to use. So, yeah, those experiences have really formed me into the woman that I am.
Yeah, thank you for sharing and being so open and personal about it. Because it is, and we talked on the previous show that no is an important word in so many areas of our lives, to be able to use that word. And because I think typically, especially for women, we are taught to please others and do what others want us to do. And we need to get connected with the word no and use it appropriately and
yes.
Not so sparingly. Use it generously. Take
Yes.
care of ourselves.
Yes.
Awesome. So if there's one thing you would like our audience to take away from our time here together, what would that be, Claire?
I would say if there's one thing that you are worthy of the life you dream about living, and you can get there through dedication, being dedicated to yourself, to what brings you joy, to what brings you happiness, and to what just makes your heart feel good. Whatever your dream life looks like to you, it's possible.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today, Claire. It has been a pleasure having you on our show. And thank you also to our sponsor, Alicia Boateng Designs. Thank you for sponsoring us, and thank you for giving us beautiful vessels to drink from. And thank you also to our audience. We appreciate you. And if you like what you heard today, please like, follow, share. All the women out there need to hear these messages from the goddesses that we interview. So please share this with all your women friends out there. And if you want to get in touch with Claire, Allison, or myself, check the show notes. All of our contacts, social media, websites, all that good stuff can be found in the show notes. So look for us there. And with that, I want to wish everybody a magical day. Bye.
Bye.